take your blade and wedge your saw frame up against something. Then insert one end of the tiny blade into the top and screw it down. The teeth should now be facing you and pointing down towards you. Then I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on the saw frame, tighten up the bottom end. This is the noise you want to hear. It should twang like a piano wire. If your blade is loose, you will not get a good cut. Check it's in the right way round. If it's the right way round, you'll feel more resistance as you cut. So on the downward stroke, you'll feel more resistance than if you go like that. Okay, so you can hear it there, it's in the right way. I want you to use the whole length of your saw blade and to go gently and smoothly. Otherwise you will just simply break lots of blades and you won't get a good even cut. So I'm going to get started. Sometimes you need to start at a slight angle, 45 degrees maybe, to make your first cut. If you find that the teeth are sticking and you can't get started, just a few times stroke upwards rather than downwards and you'll start to create a very tiny groove in the metal, and that'll get you your key to get in. So I'm away now. So keeping my saw blade perpendicular, using as much of the saw as I can, and just go nice and slowly. You will break saw blades, don't worry about it. I prefer to turn my metal rather than my saw, but find what suits you. So I'm getting to the outline of my bird now, so I'm going to start and turn my metal like that. A little bit more beeswax. If you find you get stuck or you want to take your saw blade out at any point, undo that and it'll slip through. If you keep it connected and you try and tug it out, it's very likely you'll break your blade. Bit more wax. I'll start up again. Now I'm coming to an internal angle, and people find these very difficult when they start. It's really easy if you know what to do. Go into your corner, then go up and down on the spot without moving your blade forwards or backwards, and just gently rotate your metal. What you're doing is slightly enlarging the hole so that the saw blade can move freely. So I'm turning around and round. If you feel any resistance, up and down on the spot again. Now come into really a tight angle just where the bottom of the bird's wings meet its tail. So very carefully up and down on the spot, and if anything I'm putting a little bit of pressure on the back side of the saw blade rather than the teeth end. You can just feel it cutting a little, hear it cutting a little bit, but turn it gently. No resistance or you'll break your blade and you get an uneven cut. And I've effectively turned 180 degrees without breaking a blade. There's my falcon in flight. From here you're going to need to clear away your saw blade marks, which everyone gets. The more you practice, the fewer you'll get. The best thing for these tiny little curves are to use the needle files, which come in a variety of shapes and sizes, and these are great for getting into the little grooves and you don't want to be able to see any teeth mark.